Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about how I learned that I have cirrhosis of the liver, and I'll try to make this quick so that way the video is not too long. So I was losing a little bit of weight. I think this was in July, and I have been trying to lose weight here and there. And then in the beginning of August, I felt like anything I ate would make me bloat. And I hadn't changed anything with my eating. And then in late August, I started swelling everywhere, like my stomach, my legs, and my feet. If I have pictures on my phone, I'll insert them here. And I figured, oh, it'll go away, so it's not a big deal. And then it started getting to where the swelling felt like it was like pushing under my ribs to where it was making it hard for me to breathe. So I physically could not like get out of bed without there being so much uncomfortableness or feeling like I had worked out to where it was like hard for me to breathe. I was so uncomfortable that I would cry at night, and literally like I would try stretching. Nothing was helping, and I felt like I couldn't take the, I don't want to say pain. It was more so uncomfortableness. But when it became too much for me to handle, that's when I decided to go to the urgent care. I let them know that I had a hard time breathing and my body is swelling up. Okay, so they took x-rays of my abdomen area. They also used the dye. I don't know exactly what it's called, but they used the dye. And then the doctor came and he told me that I have cirrhosis of the liver. And my liver isn't functioning properly, and that is the reason why I am swelling up with fluid. At this point, it was so much information, and 3 years ago, my mom passed from many medical issues. One of them was cirrhosis of the liver. Just hearing that made me scared. It made me like pretty much think that I'm gonna die now, because that's the same thing that happened to my mom, which I know is not necessarily the case. That was pretty much it. The doctor prescribed water pills, and these water pills are just to make you pretty much pee everything out. That way you get all the extra fluids out of your body. So I started taking that, which was helping a little bit, and I was still eating the same way that I usually do because I wasn't told any different. I thought like the water pills would help and that's it, and I'd get better. But my body kept swelling again. It had gotten even worse to where I felt like, no, I have to go to the hospital. So my husband took me to the hospital. Right when they saw me, they admitted me in, or they did all these tests, blood work, everything. So they're at the hospital, they did an MRI, and then they did I believe they did a sonogram also, or that may have been at the urgent care clinic. And they said that I do have cirrhosis of the liver, which I had already known. They asked if I've ever done drugs or if I drink alcohol, which yes, I do, I did drink alcohol here and there, but it's not like I depend on alcohol or anything like that. I have never done drugs in my life, which they didn't seem to believe me on either one of those questions or answers that I had given. I'm assuming with cirrhosis of the liver, the way that you get it is usually by sharing of needles or alcoholism. I don't do either of those. They asked me over and over. I kept saying no, I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I don't drink on a daily basis. The only thing that I can think of is when I was born, I was premature, so I had to have blood transfusions. So I think at that time is when I got hepatitis C. I knew I had hepatitis C when I got pregnant with my first son, which was about 19 and a half years ago. Nobody else in my family has it but me, but the doctor had said it's in your bloodstream, but it's not affecting you, so don't worry about it. At that time, there wasn't a cure for it either. Being that I was only 16 at the time, I didn't care to do anything about it or get it checked afterwards because I always thought, well, I'm just a carrier. I'm not, it's not affecting me and my liver. So I'm assuming that is how I ended up getting cirrhosis of the liver. I still have to go for testing. So what I also had to have the fluid drained from my abdomen. That is called paracentesis, where they actually insert a long needle, it's like pretty long, into where all the fluid is, and then they drain all the excess fluid that is in the abdomen area. And I do have pictures of that as well. I will insert them here. They ended up getting 3 liters of excess fluid. This was already after I had been taking the Lasix, which are the water pills, for a few days. So all the swelling had already gone down in my legs and my feet. So this was only what was left in my stomach. The GI doctor said was, from now on, I have to watch what I eat, and my sodium needs to stay under 1800 milligrams a day. And for fluids, any fluid that I take in, it can't be more than 1.5 liters a day. So this is the diet that I should be following. Do I follow it exactly? No. And that's why I still have a little bit of swelling in my stomach. But as far as like swelling in my legs and my feet, that hasn't come back at all. And then they also put me on the second prescription, which was either the spirulactone or furosemide, whichever one that I didn't have before. Now I take those 2 every day. I do take a liver vitamin as well. Now the next step is just to stick with the diet and the fluid intake. Also, I have to go to some liver institute here where I live, so that way I can get started on the treatment for hepatitis C. So that's how I was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm learning a lot about this right now. I don't know too much about it, just what I'm going through. If you have any questions or you're going through the same thing, go ahead and follow me here and I'll keep posting updates. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.